Okay, I got it. In fact, I think that doctor even called back to ask you certain questions to help clarify the notes that they were documenting in the files there.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
yeah.
which again, number six thing they don't want you to know is that, like, if you were to try to get those records, it'd
Oh, I can't get those records now, even if I wanted to.
be very, very difficult.
They'll make it so hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's the red tape. It's what they want to give you, but also too, it's the government's behind it as well with all the HIPAA laws. They make it very difficult to release records because it's part good because you don't want to, hey, I need my records, and you send it somewhere without any knowledge because that's my information. But it's very difficult to request it, go through the process and all the red tape just to get it. So it's not as simple as 1, 2, 3 in a phone call.
Right.
Right.
Right. Shouldn't give you pause, right? It's your records that you paid for because you went to the doctor and you paid for it, right? And it's
Yeah.
your information, your body,
Yeah, you should be able to see, the diagnosis,
everything.
the risk benefits, different treatment options, what was talked about, etc.
Don't you have, like, I guess now you can go online and see your stuff.
It's limited stuff. You get some things, but
Limited.
it's limited.
Oh, I didn't realize it's limited.
Yeah, I mean, even as a doctor, you have complete. It's like having it's a business, and so you have like almost like a CRM. So any kind of conversation I'm having on the phone, email, whatever, I'm logging all that communication. If you ask for records, you're not getting that.
That part of it.
That part of it. Then you have the billing section. Then you have the account section. Then you have the clinical notes section. Then you have the diagnosis section and the treatment section and the pharmacy. So you got all this stuff that makes up a complete record. So when you ask for it, you don't get all of that. You got X-rays and results, referral letters. It's a big mess. So to get your complete record, it's very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Now the best thing is to stay out the medical system, really.
All right.
And so, speaking of the records, and you go see doctors, is that they don't give you many options for treatment.
No, they don't. There's only one option they give. Well, two: surgery or medication. Right.
Yeah,
That's it.
for the most part.
Yeah. That's
They,
it.
they don't inform you of the risk benefits, how significant of an impact it would have on your life. They don't tell you about the risk reduction of the outcome they're trying to prevent. Because one, a lot of them just don't know. And number two, they're not incentivized to do so because you can reverse heart disease naturally.
All right.
But there's no incentive for a doctor to say so. In fact, there's pressure on doctors to make sure they intervene
Yeah.
and do the surgical procedure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Hence the compliance again.
All right.
And a lot of times, so a lot of times, and I'm talking a lot this one, I'm all pumped up.
That's fine because this is more your thing that you know better than I do.
Yeah,
I'm medically trained. I'm not.
Well, if I'm talking too much, she can just let me be quiet. But how many times do you hear it? That, oh, well, you have high blood pressure because of your mother and father's genetics. And there's nothing you can do about it.
That's not true.
That is 100% not true at all. There's different genes. So the genes, like my light brown skin, it's always on. If the sun hits it, I get darker. No sun, it goes down. That's always on. However, the expression of type of lack of or diseases or other systems that can take place, those genes do not have to be expressed or turned on.
Well, it's your lifestyle, right? That turns it on.
Lifestyle, different chemicals. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yes, and so you just got to know that there's some things you can do about it, and just the fact that everything looks good in blood work or genetics, and the only way to take care of a high blood pressure, a blood pressure pill, that's just not true.
That's not true.
Not true.
And like you said, a lot of the doctors don't even know, or they don't want you to know, but the majority of them probably don't know
Yeah.
because they was trained X, Y, Z. And that's it. Don't ask why, don't ask how, just X, Y, Z. You repeat after me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because my great grandma has nothing to do with how well I take care of my body.
Right.
I had no idea, not at all.
Right.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. The doctors are trained in this system.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that they're bad people, because doctors are not the problem of this. They're
incentivized to be like that.
Yeah, and they've been indoctrinated, and it takes a lot to open your eyes and hold on here. This don't make sense. Let me learn some different things, and you start learning different things. You say, wow. And one of the things I learned, which is number 8, which I want to let you know, is that the FDA is not for your protection at all, because 50% of its budget is funded by Big Pharma.
Wow. Wow.
So
You
think
went
about what
there.
that means.
That means they don't have your best interest at heart. They
Yeah.
have somebody else's interest at heart. They have to look out for.
If I'm the FDA and I start ruling against big pharma and not put in the suggested things that they want to put into the or declare safe, I'm not going to see that 50% of that budget.
But I've heard from people who have worked for Big Pharma saying that, well, we can't put out a product if it's not approved by the FDA, and we have to go through all these stringent practices and things to do to get it approved.
That's 100% true. Yeah,
So they still have to play that song and dance with them, even though Big Pharma donates 50, give them 50% of their budget.
they donate it, and yes, they got to do a song and dance. And at the end of the
Is
day,
that just theater?
it's theater. It's produced, right? And you give this whole aura that I'm the FDA, and then we approve stuff, and when it's safe and effective.
No, I'm saying if so. For example, from what I was told, that this person worked for for a particular pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.